think it's important that responsibilities are delegated and that information is then passed on to where it needs to go. I'm the deputy, so obviously I then feed back to the leadership team. But it's really important that we do share the leadership in the school and that responsibilities are then passed to people. So I think we feel it's a really important job, and we talk generally about observations. We don't talk about specific people.
Event organisation is one of the many tasks that's moved away from the head's office to the staff room. In this case, the teacher and her assistant have sole responsibility for making a success of a joint school concert.
I've asked my class if they'll provide us with another dance, so we'll provide 3, right. So the numbers are still the same.
OK, and we've got enough time to prepare for that?
Yeah.
OK.
The other schools have suggested we do a dance from each school. We go through them in order so that we don't do all of Alderman Jacobs first, because we're worried Alderman Jacobs' parents might leave halfway through.
That's right.
But do you feel it's actually a benefit to you or a bit of a nuisance?
No, a benefit. It's definitely been a benefit, yeah.
Why?
Because it's given me the responsibility of having to go in independently, doing things myself, and working with the other schools and getting to know the heads and the PE leaders.
And the coordination, isn't it, with the other schools and tying in with them as well was very important.
How does that help you as a TA?
Well, obviously I get to know other schools and you talk to other TAs that are involved as well. And you also see what the local schools are doing as well, the other dances that they're doing and how similar they are to ours.
So was this a deliberate strategy on which you embarked?
Yeah. Yes and no. Leadership in a school cannot be done by one person alone these days. Leadership is a shared responsibility, which also means that I have more time to concentrate on teaching and learning. Hello, I'm just calling in to see how everybody is.
The leadership distribution would not have been possible without an expansion in administration and a greater use of IT. Teachers are provided with programmes to support their teaching and reduce their preparation time. So this is making your life easier?
The programme is, yes. And the smartboard, and obviously the children having the chance to work alongside with me. As I'm doing things, they can be doing it at the same time. So it's not me teaching, then them working, we're teaching and working at the same time.
So what you're saying is your job's getting easier?
It definitely is, yeah.
So why is everyone griping about all the extra work they've got to do?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. With the right technology, programmes and resources, life's a lot easier.
And more enjoyable?
Definitely more enjoyable for me and the children.
Lesson plans for English and Maths are prepared in advance for teachers, while report writing is made simple with the help of a programme adapted by the school.
Last year we spent a great deal of time writing the new plans. Then during this year, as the lessons come round, we just open up what we did last year, we go through and we edit and we change it in order to adapt it for the new children that we've got and to improve on anything that didn't work last year or spend more time on anything that needs it this year.
Well, the report writing this year has been adapted after we had a working party committee on the report writing, and we now have a template. We have the attendance and lates and things like that already inputted in. So we have to put in a personalised comment for English, Maths and Science, and then we give effort and achievement grades for all of those areas and for the foundation subjects.
Do you find you have more time to devote to your pupils as a result of this system?
Yeah, it makes a massive difference. We get most of our planning done within our PPA time, which makes a huge difference because you can spend each evening marking and adjusting and editing the planning in order to make it work for the children.
Do you find that this is quite a big burden taken off your shoulders?
A massive burden has been lifted from us. Before, with the previous system, the reports were sometimes up to 10 pages long on A4, where we had to write a comment for each individual foundation subject, and we found that with the best will in the world and with the most hard-working teachers, we did tend to write very similar comments for each of the children in our class because the workload was just massive.
I think being in a big school is a huge benefit for us, and I think that people in smaller schools do have more that they have to do by themselves, which is really hard. But there's no reason why we shouldn't share what we're doing and talk to other people. I know that there are network meetings and county council meetings that subject leaders go to, and I think we should share our plans there. There's also lots of information on the standard sites and on various different websites that you can get that can help with it, and it's worth sharing. I don't think we should keep it to ourselves.
The office staff hasn't increased in number, but all their jobs are now full-time. And the school is being extended to provide extra space for the leadership and administration teams. Checking on the project's progress is one of the jobs given to the school business manager.
We've got all the framework in now for the external part of the extension, with a view to then, with the summer holidays coming up, start to break through to the main part of the school.
Yes.
So we're doing that whilst the children are away on holiday.
Are we expecting to be finished by the end of the school holidays?
Yes, I'm speaking to the architect. We were looking to aim for the last week in August.
That
to
sounds
have it all
fantastic.
complete so you can move furniture in.
Brilliant.
So this is your growing empire, is it?
It's our growing empire, yes.
And what will you be doing out of these new offices that you're getting?
I'm actually studying for my school business manager qualification with the National College of School Leadership. And school business managers in school, primary schools especially, are quite a new thing. I've been here 11 years now, and the administration team has grown. Nobody did as many hours as we do now, and I think I started on 30 hours. Lynn right next door, I think she was on 20. So the administration team has grown, and the work that we actually carry out has grown as well.
There's one other way in which teachers are spared the burden of dealing with paperwork. All documents that come in from any organisation or authority are vetted by the head teacher. It's one piece of red tape she won't let go.
Part of my role is to protect the teachers from too much bureaucracy, and everything we do in school, I try to address that. For instance, a lot of stuff goes in my bin, which teachers really can continue their teaching without ever seeing.
So, for example?
For example, could be health and safety. It's very valuable what actually comes into school, but I don't think that my staff need to read absolutely everything. If I actually go through what comes in, I can summarise, I can actually share that in a staff meeting with them without adding an additional burden to their workload by making them read everything themselves.
But there must be a reason why someone thinks they should. It could be valuable.
It could be valuable, but I think I'm perfectly capable of going through and disseminating that myself and picking out the salient points for the staff. It saves the staff time, but the same points are made to them.
Back in Staffordshire, Westwood College has recognised that smaller schools in its district may struggle with the demands of administration. The college has formed a cluster with 4 first schools and a junior high school, and has offered direct help with budgets and bureaucracy. Today, the Westwood Business Director is calling on St Edward's Church of England First School in nearby Cheddleton.
No, grey areas at all. It was a clear pass, and we can look at those now, can't we, and make sure that that's all embedded, ready over the next 3 years.
That's right.
Before the FMSIS reassessment comes through, so we've got plenty of time to work through that. Yeah. Well, there's been many key focuses for many of the schools in the last few terms. It's been the FMSIS assessment. That's been a big thing, and supporting the key.
What does that mean to a layperson?
To a layperson, that's the financial management standards in schools, and all schools have to pass a strict assessment and provide evidence that they are financially sound and that other practices are sound and robust. And that's exactly what we're reviewing here. That's come back as a wonderful pass because of the work that's already been done.
The support that Clarissa was able to give me, I found invaluable. You're a bit alone in the smaller schools. There's usually one office person, and you have to be master of lots of things, not focus on one area of expertise. And Clarissa was able to liaise with me and just tie up some of the documentation that perhaps wasn't as tight as it should be, but rather than me have to go back to basics and write stuff up from nothing, Clarissa could send stuff through that I could then use as a guideline.
Westwood College also looks after all the school sites and organises outside contractors. At St Edward's, the help allows the head teacher to get out of the office into the classroom.
When he had friends, he's gone out and played really late, and when he came back, his mum was looking for him, and his mum got really mad at him, and he told him he can't go out ever again.
You're thinking about what might have happened before the book, before the story kicks in. That's really clever. It has started to have a big impact on how I think about my timetable as a head. My core purpose is to cater for the learning and teaching of the children and the staff in the school, not to be in an office tied to paperwork. And so yes, I can actually see the whole support that we've had from Westwood actually rolling out and improving all the time, so that my focus is back to where I want it to be.
So your job's more rewarding as well then?
Oh, definitely. It means that I'm more visible to the children, to the staff, and I'm actually getting more involved in the learning and teaching in the classrooms.
Westwood College doesn't charge for the expertise it provides to the other schools. Instead, the reward comes from an intake of pupils with higher standards.
It's about enabling the primary heads to get into their classrooms. It's about making their lives that little bit saner. It's about putting expertise from site managers and business directors into those schools, because if it applies to me, it applies to them. But I have a senior leadership team of 11 people. In a first school, they'll have 3. So we've got the resource, and it isn't about my school or his school or her school, it's about outcomes for youngsters.
How easy is it for a school to set up this sort of support system?
I've been asked that question. Some people say because this college doesn't have a budget deficit, neither does it anymore run a large surplus, that it can only be that you've got a lot of money. Now, I don't agree with that at all. I think it's a matter of having the imagination to do it, and having the will to want to do it, and very crucially having the backing of your governors in establishing it.
The DCFS launched a 5-year programme of red tape cutting in 2005. The department says in its simplification plan, we are putting a great deal of effort into reducing unnecessary or avoidable bureaucracy through simplification, streamlining and the removal of requirements. The NASUWT, however, believes even greater effort is needed. We spoke to the union representative at the Alderman Jacobs School.
The NASUWT believe that with the raft of government initiatives that are continually coming through, that there's just too much paperwork to be undertaken in addition to the teaching day to day.
It's clearly not an issue at this school though, so why is that?
No, I think we do have good leadership from the head and the leadership team, and we do try and share the workload, so we work together in our planning. There's a lot of filtering of information that comes through, so that teachers at a working level only have to deal with the issues that have to be the ultimately important ones that have to be dealt with. And so we work well as a team to overcome that, and the use of ICT as well to support that.
So is the problem not the amount of paperwork, but the way it's dealt with?
It could be seen in that light. It certainly works that way in this school. Teachers aren't leaving because they're feeling overly burdened with paperwork.
The schools we've visited for this programme have received support from the National College for Leadership of Schools and Children's Services. Westwood College and its cluster schools are part of a demonstration project to show how smaller schools can benefit from improved administration and how business managers can work across a cluster. Paperwork and administration will undoubtedly continue to be an element of a school's workload. But as some schools are showing, teachers don't have to be weighed down by it all, by introducing procedures to spread the work and putting in place support to help take the strain.